Hey everybody, hi YouTube. I'm back. I did take about a month and a half hiatus. I'm not sure exactly, but I am back. And the whole reason of this particular live video is to make up for the fact that I just recorded a fantastic, about an hour and a half interview with none other than Clif. Hi there. And 5 minutes into the episode, I realized that I wasn't recording. Hi, Josie. Thank you guys for tuning in. So this particular live is very impromptu. I did record that show. I just got done with it. I just got done speaking to him about some really just fascinating information, and it was a great time. I was really, really nervous leading up to it because, after all, it is Clif, and he's just so, just to be able to talk to him after having been a fan of his since I was about 18 years old. It's always a very nerve-wracking experience to be able to actually talk to him one-on-one, let alone record it, and then to be able to introduce him in a way that is, can even touch, who he truly is. So I didn't get to record my actual introduction of him. It took about 5 minutes because I was just trying really, really hard to, with his credentials and all that he's done. So about 5 minutes into the episode, I did realize that I wasn't recording. And in that moment, he was speaking. So I certainly wasn't going to interrupt his train of thought to let him know what a ditz I'd been. But I did die 1,000 deaths internally in that moment, as I then hit the record button. But everything's okay. I think that the show went really, really well. He's just such a gracious, classy gentleman. So I can't wait to get that all uploaded here for you. I may even play around with some editing effects. So hi, you guys. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I know I haven't produced any content for you guys, and I do feel really bad about it. I think about it a lot. I've had all kinds of projects going on, and if I don't feel super passionate about any one thing, I'm not gonna just bore you guys to death with an hour and a half of just chit chat. And so my technique was to record this show with Cliff, really get out a lot of great information, and then post it later, as opposed to a live video, which I think would have been a little bit distracting just for me, because I really wanted to focus 100% on Cliff and what he was saying. Thank you guys. Thanks for the support. It's really an awesome talk, and you guys are really in for a treat. I'm so excited to get it up. But the main topic that we covered was a wonderful origin story, you could call it, of the Nemo people. And all cultures, all tribes, all around the world have embedded within their traditions, both written and oral traditions, they have embedded within it these common themes, or these very common symbols, that are all associated with the original Nemo people that came here. They predate the Anunnaki by something fierce. And we're talking millions and millions and millions of years ago, predating the Anunnaki. So essentially, I found this to be so important to get out there, because the Anunnaki creation story is peddled so widely, from so many different platforms, and so much so that people are very, they've really accepted the idea that the Anunnaki are somehow our creators, when in fact they're not. What they are, rather, is a kind of tinkerer, or a fiddler, if you will. As Cliff High would say, they know the mechanics to fix the car, but not create the car. That's not a direct quote, but that was the best that I could do. It was a fantastic analogy that he used. So I do think it's important to discuss, the origin story here, because so much of the contention that exists in the world today between human clans is who are we and where do we come from? And so while I can't wholeheartedly say that I subscribe entirely to that idea, because I can't definitively say yes or no at this time, it is something that resonates very deeply with me, in the sense that I never bought into the Anunnaki creation story. I always had a hard time believing that human beings were created as a slave race in the image of a creator God, for the purpose, among other purposes, but mainly for the purpose of mining for gold on planet Earth. I just had a hard time with that. And then, years went by, and we still see that theory peddled on such platforms as Ancient Aliens. I didn't have a problem with Ancient Aliens so much until they recently featured none other than John Dirty Podesta, on an episode. And so they're absolutely dead to me. And that just sort of drives home the fact that Ancient Aliens is 100% controlled and its agenda. And so I discussed with Clif on the episode we recorded today, how and why the powers that be have an invested interest in getting the human population to believe that the Anunnaki were actually our creators, and not an older, ancient, more moral, if anything. They're a moral race, as where the Anunnaki are not. So there's some really, really interesting points that we touch on there. And because I didn't get that intro recorded, I really wanted to just go ahead and jump on here and do a live intro to that episode, because I'm so, so excited about it. So you guys, not that he needs an introduction, but like I said, before, it was my honor and privilege to do so. I've been a fan and a follower of Clif since I was really just a kid. And now to be able to, by some just freak of destiny, to be able to talk to him for that amount of time and ask him questions that not only would I ask him, but the questions that I think a lot of you guys would ask him. It was just so, so special. He is the developer, one of the developers rather, of the WebBot computer program, which it generates these data sets, which then indicate possible trajectories for the future using linguistics programming. So a lot of you know about it and a lot of you don't. But Clif is also an authority on cryptocurrency. So he is a source of information when it comes to that, just this infallible resource. He wouldn't tell you that, that he's infallible in that sense, nor should anybody tell you that. But really, the guy has some slam dunk insight on cryptocurrencies. But a disclaimer, folks, I did not ask him about cryptocurrencies at all. And that's in part due to the fact that cryptocurrencies, being given about an hour and a half of time with Clif, the last thing on my list to discuss would have been cryptocurrencies. There are hundreds of other sources that you guys can refer to hear Clif talk about cryptocurrencies and the various facets attached to it. He frequents many other YouTube channels. He's very gracious with his information, and he's very generous with his time. So there are so many other places that you guys can hear him educate people about cryptocurrencies. But I wasn't going to take my opportunity with him to take up any time to ask him about cryptos. I just have little to no interest in that right now. I'm fascinated with the woo-woo aspect of his studies, such as the science of consciousness, the energy universe, and of course our origins. So I really hope you guys enjoy it. I'm so excited. I couldn't believe it. I mean, if you guys will see at the very, very beginning of the video that I'm about to post, maybe some of you will be able to see through me. Maybe some of you won't, but I died. Because it was at that moment that I realized, oh my God, I'm not recording this is a huge opportunity and I freaking blew it 5 minutes in. But you know, Cliff was just so super gracious and laughed about it. And, you know, just he really put me at ease. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. And please forgive my absence. I really, really do love making videos and I love interacting with you guys. So I vow to be more consistent, more frequent with my content here. So stay tuned for that video. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care.